everyone. I'm Yasmin, a family relationship coach, and I'm so happy to have you join me today for the start of a two-part series I've created to share discussion and help for the holidays. The reason being is that the holiday season can be really challenging for those of us who are estranged from family or a key family member, and actually for anyone living with conflict and separation in family. So today, I really wanted to highlight some of the most common challenges and help you with ways to cope during the holiday season. But more importantly, I really wanted to share discussion together so that we can all talk about the holidays so that people don't feel alone or overwhelmed. The holidays are not something we have to be scared of, and they're certainly not something we need to deny ourselves of enjoying because we live with separation in our family. So more than anything, I want today's video to be huge support for anyone feeling anxious or overwhelmed about the holidays. I want everyone to leave this discussion feeling stronger, knowing that you have support and love around you no matter what is happening in your family or no matter what your situation is. I want people to not feel broken, like they have something to hide, or that they're alone and won't get through the holidays. And truly, none of us are alone with our thoughts or concerns for the holidays. The stress of the holidays triggers sadness and depression for many people. This time of year is especially difficult because there's also the expectation of feeling merry and generous of spirit. People compare their emotions to what they assume others are experiencing or what they're supposed to feel, and then they think they fall short or that something is wrong with their life. And especially in the world of family estrangement, we can judge ourselves and feel like an outsider. So, one of the biggest things we need to focus on during the holidays is support. Knowing we're not alone, knowing that nothing is wrong with us, and knowing that we will get through the holidays and we'll be okay. So, to start with, I'd actually like to open up the discussion and share some of the things that people are most commonly worried about, or some of the challenges that we're faced with over the holidays, so that everyone can recognize how similar we all are and how common these realities are. We're not alone in our feelings or our situations. And to start with, loneliness is a big one. When separated from close family or when living with conflict in family, loneliness can be a very upsetting reality for many, and especially during the holidays when others are with their families. It can be very painful for those of us who are alone. Grief is another big one for obvious reasons. Missing a former relationship or a loved one is painful at any age for both males and females and for any family member. Stress is another obvious big one. When you're not speaking to a relative, family get togethers can bring feelings of anxiety, sadness, guilt, resentment, or inner conflict about whether to participate in family events over the holidays or communicate with family over the holidays. There's also the stress that's caused from thoughts of how to get through the holidays, obviously, and also stress caused from not knowing how to navigate seeing other family members, like I just mentioned, and how to navigate events from fear of whether your estranged family member will possibly be there, and how to attend and partake in events with other family members. Many people also are dealing with shock. If you're newly separated from family, the holidays may remind you of happier times and accentuate your grief. Also, pleasing family members can be a burden over the holidays. Trying to please all of your relatives and family members, deciding who you have to see and what you have to do can really make you feel overwhelmed, stressed, possibly guilty, and like you're not going or doing enough to keep the peace, which can really lead to stress and depression. This is especially relevant for people who might be separated from one, possibly an adult child or a parent, or separated from another family member, but still in contact with other family members. Depression can also be emphasized over the holidays. Feelings of sadness, worthlessness, or guilt, crying, loss of interest in usual activities, feeling fatigue, difficulty concentrating, social withdrawal, and changes possibly in sleep, weight, or appetite. These are some of the most common reactions to depression caused by family estrangement and can really be emphasized over the holidays. Also, a big one is comparison to what we believe to be happier families. And this is another big challenge over the holidays. Whether we see images in TV or social media, or whether we see families get together in public spaces, or we hear discussion from friends about their holiday plans, we can feel isolated and depressed due to comparing ourselves to what we see around us. Now, these are just a few of the most common challenges people face, and any number of these common emotional challenges can make the holiday season really tough. But there are ways to cope and some very effective measures that you can take to cope with holiday anxiety. And to start with, I'm going to talk about the top 10 things to do if you're alone for the holidays or if you're carrying grief from estrangement. Now, obviously, there are many options and many things you can do, but today I wanted to just share a collection to at least help you start thinking and planning, and also to help open your mind to possibility. Like I said, loneliness and grief can be two of the biggest emotional challenges people face. For a wide variety of reasons, many of us can find ourselves alone for the holidays because we're separated from family. Now, the problem with the holidays is that the emphasis is on families and being with others in a traditional way. So the holidays can be an especially lonely and trying time, even for those of us who are usually okay being on our own. But there are many things you can do to make the holidays a little less lonely when you're alone or separated from family. Firstly, find support. You hear me say this all the time, that support is one of the most successful healing steps to take. So possibly pick up the phone, maybe call friends and ask to be included in whatever they're doing for the holidays. Maybe offer to bring a dish or see how you can contribute to the gathering that they're holding. Most people love opening their homes and expanding the celebration during the holidays, so don't feel like you're intruding. The holidays are the perfect time to invite yourself to the homes of others or to include yourself in friends' activities. But you also don't have to partake in activities with friends and other family if you don't want to. You can also find comfort and support by joining support groups, partaking in like minded groups such as a Facebook group, or being involved in the community groups such as your local animal rescue centre or gardening group or volunteer groups. The point being, don't close yourself off to the world and withdraw. Support is such a strong healing step when living with family struggles. We also need to adjust our expectations over the holidays. So, what do I mean by this? There are many categories of expectations about the season being just right, that it brings up all sorts of issues relating to family that can cause stress and anxiety, low self esteem, questions about competency. The list goes on and on. There's this idea that the holidays are supposed to be perfect. And if they're not, we get depressed about it and we ask ourselves, what's wrong with me? And this is where more than ever before we have to remember the number of traditional households is not in the majority. What we see in the media as being perfect, happy families is also not the majority. And there are many ways to enjoy the holidays without being traditional. We also need to be very proactive if we want to bring joy into our life over the holidays. So maybe create an alternative family made up of people whose company you enjoy, or actively get involved in the community, like we mentioned before. Take the time to think and plan about what you want to do over the holidays so that you're not just sitting and ruminating. Remember that you're not alone in being alone during the holidays. So get together with others and have some fun if you want, or get active and make plans for the season that will bring joy into your life. So, for example, if you wish to enjoy the holidays, then you can plan outings for yourself. You don't have to do something traditional either to enjoy the holidays. Maybe go on a hike or go to the movies or a park or the museum. Enjoy the outing with a group, or you can enjoy it by yourself. And if you do love traditional holiday events and decoration, then plan an outing to enjoy the magic of the season. Partake in community events, enjoy exploring your city or community, and really enjoy going out to look at the holiday decorations. Maybe go for a coffee at the mall or places that are decorated. There is so much going on that you can enjoy either by yourself or with others and close friends. Or even you can plan to close the door and take time away from the holiday festivities to rest and do things that you enjoy at home. The point being to do things that bring peace into your life and that you enjoy doing without putting pressure on yourself that you must be doing what society portrays as traditional over the holidays. I also want to encourage you to pamper yourself. Treat yourself to gifts during the holidays if you wish. You deserve it. Do whatever you enjoy doing and give yourself gifts over the holidays so that you don't miss out if you are separated from family. And I especially want to encourage you to remember your blessings and what you're grateful for in life. If possible, get on the phone and talk with loved ones who aren't necessarily your family or family members that you're still connected to in your life. Possibly reconnect and feel blessed for them, and don't isolate. Or take time to practice gratitude for the good things in your life. I know that it's not possible for all of us to be surrounded by people or to reconnect to people in our life. So spend this time to be grateful for what you do have in your life. Practicing gratitude is the most perfect way to shift your focus to recognizing what you have in life rather than what you think you might lack. Now, helping others is also a great activity to do over the holidays. Volunteering at a charity group, shelter for the homeless, or other organizations that can really help you feel connected. Volunteering helps achieve a few things. Firstly, you're not alone, and also you're with compassionate, big hearted, like minded people that also want to share and express love and support for others. You have something to do on tough days, which is also a good thing about volunteering, and especially on the actual day themselves, Thanksgiving or Christmas Day. It's a wonderful way to have something to focus on, somewhere to be, and a way to share love with others. And also, this will make the experience more fulfilling. Now, travel can also be a great activity and distraction over the holidays. If you have the finances, maybe get away for a few days, or even just go for a long drive and stay the night somewhere, or stay at a friend's place, because travel can be a perfect way to join others for the festivities if you want. It can help you not feel alone, but it can also get you away from your environment that possibly is making you sad or reminding you of happier times over the holidays. And it can also get you out of the traditional holiday mindset if you want. And it doesn't have to be extravagant, even just interstate possibly, or a local tour group for the day can be an escape. And lastly, I want to remind you that you will get through the holiday season. If you're unable to do any of these things that I've mentioned today, I want to remind you that these are just days of the year that you will get through. Read, sleep, rent a video, eat your favorite food. You will get through the holidays. Take a moment to stop and realize how strong you already are and how far you've already come. You are already coping. And I hope you realize that. I hope you realize that no matter how hard things may be at times, and the holidays may be hard, you are already coping and taking the steps to get stronger and live a better life. So you are already coping, and the holidays won't be any different. You will get through them, and you can even get through them with peace and bringing joy into your life. Now, I want to dive a bit deeper into the emotional depth of loneliness and grief over the holidays, because these are without doubt two of the most biggest challenges over the holidays. Like we mentioned, loneliness is very common during the holidays, and so is grief and depression, because many are grieving the loss of a loved one or a relationship. And especially during the holidays, expectations are high and comparisons run rampant. Many people feel tremendous pressure to be happy and socially connected. And there's a prevailing sense that everyone is living a Hallmark movie with the ideal family and perfect celebrations. And these comparisons lead us to focus on what we've lost or who we're grieving for. Now, the trick with loneliness and grief in the world of family estrangement is that there is no magic wand to get rid of them. So, the secret formula is to grow bigger than your grief and loneliness and to bring more joy and light into your life than there exists darkness. So you have to actively bring joy into your life. You have to outbalance the grief and bring extra love, joy, and light into your life. So, how do we do that? Well, like we just talked about before, for loneliness and grief, that biggest healing step is to seek support. The best way to deal with loneliness and grief over the holidays is to override your instinct to isolate. Loneliness feeds on itself. So instead of isolating, attend a holiday celebration, call a close friend, go out for coffee or do something in the community. Maybe visit a place of worship, find a local group that matches your interests, or interact in social groups like Facebook groups. And you don't have to see people you know. You can even just go out into the community or go for a drive to get out of the house. When you're out and about engaging in enjoyable and interesting activities, or when you're just getting out, whether that's with others or by yourself, you're less focused on your negative thoughts and you're able to break out of the self-defeating spiral that loneliness and grief may ignite. It's also very important and very healing to share your feelings if you're struggling. So be honest with the people you trust and tell them you're feeling lonely and grieving. Sharing these feelings with people you love is a really vulnerable and daring act, but it's one which most people will appreciate. They'll want to help you, and it will also help you feel better too. So don't be afraid to ask for what you need and ask for help. And this is especially needed because sometimes we hope that others are clairvoyant and we can become disappointed and feel disconnected and lonely when our needs are not met. But we can't expect friends or family members to know how we're feeling or what we need. So it's really important to clearly communicate your needs to others. So, for instance, you might ask your spouse to give you a hug as needed, or you might ask your best friend to meet you for coffee. For some of us, it can be really hard to ask for help, but trust that the people that love you are there for you. But they're not mind readers. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, I also think it's important for some of us to avoid social media over the holiday season. It's really easy to compare our lives to other people's and feel that our life pales in comparison. We can also see others with their children, their grandchildren, siblings, family members, and feel even more depressed about our own loss. And it's people's seemingly perfect lives that are often splashed on sites like Facebook, Twitter, and especially Instagram. So if you find yourself getting upset by these sites, then limit or stop use during the holidays. And talking about the idea of perfection, I also want to remind everyone that we're all human and emotions are normal. So remember to honor your feelings over the holidays and give them space. Your feelings are normal responses to everything you've been through in your life and everything you're going through. So give yourself permission to feel those feelings. Don't try to ignore them. Allow them to come to the surface. Cry through them if needed. Take some time to sit with them and let them wash over you. Then release them. It is normal when living with family struggles, and especially over the holidays, to feel grief, anxiety, and have bad days. Don't ignore them. The only way to move past them is to move through them. And a good way to help release feelings and move past them is to practice self care. Focus on taking good care of yourself. Get enough sleep. Engage in physical activities that you enjoy. Practice healing exercises. A good one, a favorite one of mine is deep breathing or meditation. It's really easy to take moments as needed throughout the day to simply just breathe in what you need, such as serenity, peace, strength, and love. And then just breathe out what you don't need, such as sadness, pain, and loneliness. And another good practice over the holidays is to create structure in your days and stick to a routine. And this is a favorite of mine also. Having a routine will give you focus throughout your days and it will help shift your thoughts from sadness or thoughts on your family situation. So create a daily list if needed, or plan activities to scatter throughout your week. Having this structure and focus will really help keep you strong, distracted from your sadness, and give you purpose and something to look forward to daily and weekly. So, those are some wonderful suggestions for what to focus on during the holiday season. And I hope they share some help, but more so, I also hope our discussion shares some comfort in knowing that you're not alone and you can get through the holidays. And I'm actually going to leave us there for today. And I'm going to create a part two for this discussion to share next week. And in part two, I'm going to dive deeper into some of the other complex themes and questions we're faced with over the holidays, such as should we send gifts or should we reach out to family that we're separated from? And how to handle conversations with others about family situation over the holidays. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. I would love to invite you to please think on those ideas that we just discussed about how to navigate the holidays, rewatch this video if needed, and take some time to plan how you'll best look after yourself over the holidays, and also what you want to do over the holidays. So thank you for joining me today. As always, know that you have my support and love, and together we will get through the holiday season. I look forward to sharing more with you next week. As always, sending you love and light, and I'll see you again soon.